The royal oracle had never been questioned before. For 10,000 years, she had stood in the chamber of prophecy, her body suspended in crystalline stasis, her mind connected to the quantum fabric of reality itself. Every prediction she made came true. Every prophecy she spoke shaped the course of galactic history. Kings rose and fell by her word. Wars began and ended at her command. No one had ever dared to contradict her. Until the human walked in. The apex has fallen, the oracle intoned, her voice resonating across dimensions. Long ago, in the age before memory, the greatest civilization ever to exist reached its zenith and fell. None remain. None shall rise again. The universe enters its final age of decline. The assembled alien nobility, creatures of immense power and ancient lineages, bowed their heads in somber acceptance. This was the prophecy that had dominated galactic thinking for centuries, that the universe's greatest era was behind it, that decay and entropy were inevitable, that nothing could be rebuilt. Commander James Mitchell of Earth stood in the back of the chamber, listening to this pronouncement with growing incredulity. "Then what am I doing here?" he asked quietly. The oracle's eyes, vast, ancient, containing multitudes, turned toward him. "Human. You exist. That is all." "That's not an answer," James replied, stepping forward. "You said the apex fell. You said none remain. But I'm here. I'm standing in front of you. So either your prophecy is wrong, or you're not understanding what apex means." A collective gasp rippled through the nobility. The oracle had never been questioned. The oracle was never wrong. "I see all timelines," the oracle said, her voice carrying the weight of absolute certainty. "I have seen the rise and fall of the apex. They are gone. Extinct. Dead across all possible futures." James smiled, a dangerous, knowing smile. "You see all timelines? Then you should have seen me coming. You should have known what I would say. And yet here I am, surprising you." The oracle's crystalline form flickered. "Impossible. My sight is absolute." "Your sight is limited," James countered, walking slowly toward the center of the chamber. "You see the past clearly because it's already written. You see probable futures because they follow logical patterns. But you don't see us. You don't see humanity." He gestured expansively. "You say the apex fell. I ask you, what is the apex? Is it a species that peaked and declined? Is it a civilization that reached maximum power? Or is it something else entirely?" The oracle's form grew agitated, energy crackling around her crystalline prison. "You cannot redefine fundamental truth." "I'm not redefining it," James said. "I'm understanding it better than you do. The apex didn't fall because they peaked and declined. They fell because they stopped adapting. They reached perfection and became stagnant. But humanity? We've never stopped evolving. We've never stopped changing. We've never stopped fighting." He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. "We've fallen hundreds of times. Civilizations collapsed. Knowledge was lost. We rebuilt from nothing multiple times. And each time, we came back stronger, smarter, more resilient. That's not decline. That's the opposite of decline. That's apex behavior." The oracle's voice trembled, something that hadn't happened in 10,000 years. "You propose that humanity is the new apex?" "No," James said, shaking his head. "I'm proposing that you've been looking for apex in the wrong places. You look for size, power, dominance. But the real apex trait is adaptability. It's the ability to fail and recover. It's the refusal to accept stagnation. It's the drive to become something greater than you were yesterday." He looked directly at the oracle's ancient eyes. "And that terrifies you. Because if adaptability is the mark of the apex, then you, frozen in the same form for 10,000 years, seeing only what your quantum connections show you, unable to change, unable to evolve. You're not the Oracle anymore. You're a monument to decline. The Oracle's form began to crack, quantum energy escaping in spiraling patterns. If this is true, then my prophecies, my entire purpose, was valid once, James finished gently. You saw the fall of the old apex. You were right about that. But you made one crucial mistake: you thought the universe worked according to your predictions. You didn't account for a species that treats prophecy as a challenge rather than destiny. He smiled at the assembled nobility. Humanity came here because we heard you predicted our failure. We came here to prove you wrong. And that, right there, is why we're the new apex. Not because we're the strongest, but because we're the only species arrogant enough to stand in front of an ancient oracle and tell her she's mistaken. The oracle fell silent, her crystalline form dimming as she processed the truth that had escaped her sight for millennia. James turned to leave, then paused at the chamber's entrance. By the way, Oracle, next time you want to see what humanity is doing, don't look at the timelines. Just ask us. We'll tell you. And trust me, it's going to surprise you every single time. As he walked out, the chamber erupted not in protest, but in something far more dangerous: hope. Because for the first time in 10,000 years, someone had shown the galaxy that the future was not written. It was being written by the species brave enough to believe they could rewrite it. Kindly like and subscribe channel. Thank you.